Let's talk about the relationship between behavior and communication. In order to communicate, there must be a speaker, a listener, and a series of messages that are transmitted successfully between the two. In most cases, communication occurs for a reason. In other words, the speaker has a specific intention in mind or purpose in mind when they attempt to communicate. That said, there are some situations that might arise where individuals with Angelman syndrome engage in behaviors that are communicative even though they are not conveyed with any apparent intent. Let's, for example, talk about the case of James. James is in his bedroom alone and begins hitting his head. There are no demands being placed on James, and no one is around to respond to him. We might say then that James is not communicating in the fact that there is no listener present. When his mom walks past the room, she notices this behavior. She then provides the missing meaning and context, saying, "Oh, sorry, James, Mom forgot tonight is bath night. I know you're upset." So, was James truly communicating in this example? In this situation, there was no indication James was hitting his head to request a bath. Instead, it was his mother that assigned meaning, right or wrong, to this behavior and then acted accordingly. James got his message across with no apparent intention to do so. As such, an instance of communication occurred. We see this particularly in children and adults with severe communication challenges, where their behavior is indeed not yet intentional, and however they then rely upon their parents and others to gloss the meaning of those utterances and respond accordingly. Communication thus taking place. Are situations in which behaviors are both intentional and communicative more evident in individuals with Angelman syndrome? It is far more common to see scenarios in which challenging behaviors are both purposeful and communicative. Going back to the previous example of hitting one's head, other children might rely on this same behavior for various reasons. For example, one child might hit their head seeking a parent's attention. Another might do so trying to avoid or escape from an undesirable task. A third individual might engage in this behavior to request an object or to request an action. If you take a look at Jane Summers' module, you'll find there are ways to not only identify the meaning of such behaviors, but also replace them with more desirable forms of communication. I'll also be getting into some of those strategies in today's module.